Motorcycle review. What's up everyone, it's Alex. While I was out today, I stopped at a dealer that had a W800 Cafe from Kawasaki in stock and was nice enough to let me take it on a ride for you guys so I could do a review like I've been promising to do for a while. So, first off, this bike is on loan from America's Motorsports in Nashville, Tennessee. They were nice enough to let me ride it so I could do this review for you guys, so a huge shout out and a huge thank you to America's Motorsports, Nashville, for allowing me to ride the W800. So, what do we got here? So first off, this is the W800 Cafe version. This is not the standard, so we're doing the Cafe review first. If you guys like it and you want me to, I will find a standard version. We'll get one in stock. They did not have a standard today, but we can do the standard version. But this is the W800 Cafe. So like we've talked about before, we have a just under 800cc, it's 770 something or whatever, just under 800cc, vertical, parallel twin cylinder, air-cooled engine. Notice we do not see an oil cooler visible anywhere. I did not look the specs up to see if this was air and oil, but I do not see an evident oil cooler, which usually means to me it is air-cooled only, not air and oil cooled, so I do not see an oil cooler anywhere. We have a single front disc with Tokiko caliper, single rear disc with what I assume is also a Tokiko caliper, dead giveaway ABS slots. The bike did have an ABS light that turned off as soon as I started riding, so should have ABS on it. Chain drive, as we would expect on basically any Classic Series, Classic style motorcycle. I will say this, it is only a 5-speed transmission. Unless I've forgotten how to count, I only counted 5 gears when I was riding it around. I will, however, say that that 5-speed transmission does have a decent ratio between them. Like first and second gear were nice and low to get you started, but after that, the ratios were wide enough where it didn't really bug me much. It only had a 5-speed transmission, but it is only a 5-speed transmission, and it is buttery, buttery smooth. As I've come to expect from a lot of the Kawasaki's I've ridden, transmission on this thing is literally a hot knife through butter, okay? It is buttery smooth shifting this thing. They made the decision to go with kind of a cafe club style handlebar instead of doing clip-ons on it. So I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, other than just stylistic preference and just the way it is. But, you know, the Royal Enfield 650 GT has clip-ons. This has club bars on it. I've done club bars on a lot of bikes before. I do like cafe style club bars, but just to draw that distinction, they did go with a club style cafe handlebar instead of doing clip-ons on it. Very standard classic style gauge setup, speedo, tack, digital readouts for the rest. Easy enough. So here's my honest review after my first short ride on the W800 Cafe. What you basically have here is you have what to me feels like the Kawasaki version of a Triumph Thruxton 900, maybe just slightly less power, but not a lot less. It is a nice, smooth, torquey feeling, parallel twin engined, classic cafe bike with modern technology on it, okay? It feels a lot to me. Power and transmission wise, it feels a lot to me like riding a 900 Thruxton, a fuel injected 900 Thruxton, okay? The one area that it really, really differs to me between this bike versus my 650 GT or a 900 Thruxton as far as the overall feel of riding goes is that this bike, the seat setup feels the same, the pegs are in a very, very similar position, so all of that feels the same to me, but the decision that Kawasaki made on the bars on this thing, it's very, very different. It's amazing how different it feels than my 650 GT in the bars, and how different it feels to me than a 900 Thruxton would. The club bars that they went with on this, when they're set up this way, they come down and then they come out in a very flat kind of design, whereas my clip-ons and the Thruxton setup, your hands go down a little bit more. With this, they almost come straight out, and for whatever reason, that seems to put more pressure on my wrists personally, so that's a little bit less comfortable for me in the bar setup. However, I will say that it puts me sitting a little bit more upright than the clip-ons on my 650 GT do, and that part of it is more comfortable, so it's a trade-off. It puts me in a little bit more comfortable overall position, but it puts more pressure on my wrists because of the way the bars are set up, and that could probably be fixed with loosening them and adjusting them a little bit back or forward just to get to a little bit better feeling position, and different people of different sizes are going to feel different on that. But as so far from riding it, the only complaint whatsoever I had, and which is a really tiny little subjective thing, is that it put more pressure on my wrists. But overall, very, very pleased with it. And even though I've talked before about how much higher the MSRP is on this than a 650 GT, right now these guys are all selling these bikes for a couple $1,000s off. which puts them in a much better value proposition versus a brand new Thruxton. So if you like the styling, you like the higher torque amount on it, and you like the overall feel of this bike better, it puts it within striking distance of a 650 Royal Enfield when they drop the price like this. Like, I think these guys are selling this one for like $69 something brand new. So it puts it within $1,000 or $1,500 of a 650 GT. So if you like it that much more, it could be a really cool option. But that's it. I did get to ride it. It was a lot of fun. It handled very well. It handled just like a 900 Thruxton, or just like my 650 GT basically overall. I would have wished I had another gear, but for what it is and for the kind of riding and for the speeds you're going to be doing, the 5-speed was fine. It was buttery smooth. Like I said, it handled good. Plenty of torque down low. I felt like it ran out of a little bit on the top end, but it's mostly a bike for back roads and in the city, so the torque is really what they were going for. Overall, very nice motorcycle, very, very good choice. If you can get it anywhere close to the price of a 650 GT and you like Kawasaki better or just like the look better, very, very, very solid choice. That's it, guys. I told you I would find one to review for you, and I did. I will also do a review of the W800 Standard when I can get my hands on one. For right now, the 800 Cafe was all I could find, so we had to live with that. But W800 Cafe, awesome bike. Really enjoyed my ride. Very similar to a 900 Thruxton. A little bit more power than a 650 GT, but a little bit more price to go along with that. So that's a decision we all have to make for ourselves, okay? I'm Alex. Peace.